Well, I am currently seated in the shade of a small little bush. I actually have no idea if it's a bush or a tree. It's kind of small. Right in front of Huckleberry. I don't see anyone around, so I hope they don't mind. I'm going to take my little break here under the shade for a little bit. Drink some of my Gatorade. That was definitely a good choice to stop and get that. And read some more from Thomas Jones. So I'm going to get my book out here. Now, Huckleberry was not the only home of Thomas Jones. If I would continue down Pope's Creek Road, past Captain Billy's, and then it curves back around toward 301 eventually. There is a house on the bluff called Raven's Cliff, and Jones lived there for most of the war until near the end when he sold it, and then he moved full-time, I believe, here to Huckleberry. His house on the bluff, helped with his Confederate mail activities, so he could see across the river to Virginia. One second. But it was here to Huckleberry that Jones brought Booth and Herold as they walked what I just essentially walked. Let me find that point in Jones's book. Okay. Oh, I guess I have a little more to read about their journey here, so I'll start there. As we journeyed cautiously my feelings were wrought up to an intense degree of anxiety, just like I said I would feel. Not so much on my own account as for the successful accomplishment of what I had undertaken. When I paused to listen, the croaking of a frog, the distant barking of a dog, the whir of the wing of some night bird as it passed over my head would cause my heart to beat quicker and my breath to come faster. When I gave the low whistle agreed upon as the signal that the road was clear, it sounded in my ears as loud as the blast of a trumpet. And though the ground was soft and yielding, the trampling of the slowly advancing horse, to my overwrought fancy, was like the approaching of a troop. At length we reached the public road and entered upon the most dangerous part of our dangerous journey. I walked softly down the road, listening intently, but could hear no sound that indicated danger. I paused and gave the signal, and waited breathlessly as Booth and Herold entered the highway and came toward me. When they reached me, I led the horse a few yards out of the road and told them to wait there. I then went past Sam Thomas's. There was a light burning in the house that showed dimly through the mist, but I heard no one stirring. I was afraid to give the signal too close to the house, so I went on a little further than usual before I whistled. The house was safely passed. Again, the horseman and his companion waited, and I went forward to the next most dangerous place, Ware's house. I walked past the gate and listened. Not a sound was heard. I moved a few yards further down the road, and again gave the signal. As they came on by the house, I expected every minute to hear the dogs bark, but they kept quiet. So far, all had gone well. We were now nearing my place, and would soon be off the public road, and I began to breathe more freely. At last, after what seemed like an interminable age, we reached my place. We stopped under a pear tree near the stable, about 40 or 50 yards from my house. It was then between 9 and 10 o'clock. "Wait here," I said, "while I go in and get you some supper, which you can eat here while I get some for myself." "Oh," said Booth, "can't I go in and get some of your hot coffee?" It cut me to the heart. Oh, sorry, got distracted, there's a tick on me. It cut me to the heart when this poor creature, whose head had not been under a roof, who had not tasted warm food, felt the glow of a fire, or seen a cheerful light for nearly a week, there in the dark, wet night at my threshold, made this piteous request to be allowed to enter a human habitation. I felt a great wave of pity for him, and a lump rose in my throat as I answered him. "My friend, it wouldn't do. Indeed, it would not be safe. There are servants in the house who would be sure to see you, and then all would be lost. Remember, this is your last chance to get away." To refuse that appeal, prompted by a feeling I could so well understand, was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And I'm going to stop my reading right there. So, they got so close, Booth and Herold, right here, but they were not allowed to enter Huckleberry for fear that they would be betrayed. Pick it up, the camera here, and then I'll get up and walk around the house a little bit. So we get to see, obviously the house has been remodeled since Jones's time. Look, it even has satellite TV now. And the original part of the house, this part would be new, but the original part is right here. We'll just do a little 360 of the house. I'll have to walk away a bit. So this is part of the Loyola Retreat House. I'm not sure how it is used. I heard a rumor that the people here call this the Trader House because Jones was a trader and helped Booth and Herold. I'm not sure if that's true. I'm going to try turning the camera, but I don't know if it likes it when I turn it in the middle of the video. It might change, but there we go. Here's the back of the house. Nice side entrance. About to go under these trees. Oh, well, that's pretty. Lone flower. Don't know what type of tree this is. It's very pretty. I'm gonna go back to my spot over here. Now, if I got permission and if I planned a little further in advance, I could continue down the road here at Loyola and take it all the way down to the retreat house that they have and then down to the river where Jones eventually took them. But I'm going to have to save that trip for another day. As I said before, I'm going to need to turn around and go back the way I came, so I'm not going to press my luck of exhaustion, plus I haven't got permission to go all the way there, and it's quite the hike then back up. But old Huckleberry. Oh, there's lots of flowers. See how observant I was. I only saw the one with its blooming, very pretty. Lots of them. Well, I'm gonna probably sit for a few more minutes, check myself of ticks before I get up, and then I will start my trek back. But this was interesting, and I enjoyed doing it. Maybe I should have picked a cooler day and brought more water, but to be able to follow in their footsteps, as best as possible, even though I know it wasn't all that much. Hold on, I'm going to bring out something that I was working on. When I originally wanted to take this all the way down to the river, I printed out a map. There it is. There we go. So here's a nice Google map, and I highlighted the route that I essentially just took. So I started here at the Cause House. I started down Wills Road. Sorry, it's blurry. Down Wills Road, and then I had to go, that's my dash line when I had to take the railroad tracks, and then I continued down Faulkner, crossed at 301 there, and then here's Huckleberry. Now I was going to keep going. If I went the whole way, it was 2.6 miles. Now I've only stopped here at Huckleberry, but I'll tell you one thing. I know I've only walked from Collis House to Huckleberry, but that seems much further than it seems even further than 2.6 miles, and I didn't even go the whole way. So either I'm out of shape, or it's just, which, that's true, but it's also very hot. So, let me turn this camera around. So thank you all for joining me on my little trek through Pine Thicket, and then all the way here to Huckleberry, just like Booth and Herold and Jones did. I'm enjoying videotaping these things, so hopefully one day I'll come back and I will do the trek just from Huckleberry here down to the river, which seems a bit more treacherous, and we can read some more from Jones's book since he talks a great deal about that, and then putting them across the river. So this is Dave Taylor on June 25th. Yep, Tuesday, 2013. I'll just mix up the date there, and until next time, bye.